Okay. Okay, here we are. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's 11 o'clock, and today is October the 11th for the record. And we have a really great program. I'm going to share my screen just briefly. Okay. Okay, just to notice that you're in a Zoom meeting, and this meeting is being recorded, and it will be uploaded to the channel's YouTube channel. Okay, next screen. I just have a couple of just for the record, the chapter does not endorse any single product, and this meeting is intended to provide information, education, and support. We do have a sponsor, and we want to thank Caption Call. Caption Call actually provides the employment of the captioner. So we have today as our captioner Lisa Johnston. But you know, Lisa, this is the first time that you are captioning for us, and I'm not sure what city or town you're from, or what state.
Hi, everyone. This is Lisa, the captioner. I live in Melbourne, Florida.
Ah, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, and just also so you know, Mission Viejo Chapter is a 501c3 exempt chapter. Tax deductions are available when you donate. And the chapter is all volunteer. Nobody receives any compensation of any kind, and we depend on your support. And you can donate online. You can get our address on our website if you would like to send us a check, and we do appreciate it. We do have expenses that are regular expenses. Okay, now let's see if we can move one more. And this is how you can reach me. There's my name, how to spell it, variant, and that's my email address if you should like to email me. My telephone number, I prefer text, but you can call me if you need to. And there's the website, www.HLAAMV.org. We are on Twitter, and we are on Facebook, so our announcements show up there. Okay, and I did want to say that Alan Katsura is our meeting support person, and so if you have any issues, you can use the chat box. And thank you, Alan, for your dedication to HLAA chapters, because I'm not the only one. He goes to all the chapter meetings, and he helps people who are struggling, and so we appreciate that. I'm going to introduce you to our presenters, who is going to help with talk about how to get help in an emergency when you have a hearing loss. So Miryam Fernandez, let's give a highlight to Miryam. Okay, so there's Miryam. Okay, and we have, okay, Miryam is a retired teacher with a hearing loss. She lost most of her hearing during her service in the Air Force. She's currently on the board of the Long Beach Lakewood chapter, and she teaches classes at Seal Beach Leisure World. She's actually a resident of Leisure World, which is has been technically a sister community to Laguna Woods. So in case people didn't know that. So then we have Katie Wright. So let's do a highlight for Katie. This is Katie Wright. And Katie is a friend of mine, and so I just appreciate her participating. She's a retired teacher, president of the HLAA California Association, and she is a certified hearing assistive technology trainer. So she's been trained by the Hearing Loss Association to train people to show them how to use assistive technology. That's sort of really a tongue twister. She's late deafened representative for the Deaf and Disabled Telecommunications Advisory Committee. Now that advisory committee is part of an organization called California Phones, which many of you are aware of. You've borrowed equipment, telephones and amplifiers and that type of thing. So she's on that, and she's also on a committee to create international standards for captioning. So she does an awful lot. Okay, so among the two of you, who is going to start? And you can go ahead and share your screen, because I know you have PowerPoints. And while you're getting ready to do that, I would like to tell everybody there's a lot of information in our program today. But in addition to the recording, and you'll have access to that, and what I plan to do is, as soon as the Dell technician leaves, I am going to send out an email to everybody that participated with us today with a temporary link. So you can access the recording like for 7 days, and while I get a chance to get it uploaded to YouTube. I can also email you a copy of the slides. There are some handouts, but at the same time, in the chat box, some have been uploaded. A couple of handouts, and I will also put the PowerPoint there. But if you can't grab it, if you don't know how, I will be happy to send it to you. And for those who have not used captions before, there's a CC button in your toolbar, and if you click that, you'll get captions. On the toolbar, there is an icon called Reactions. When you click on Reactions, there's a raise hand. So if you have a question, please use raise hand, because when you do that, then you'll pop up on the screen. I won't miss you. And then we take the order that they do. They're raising their hand. So without further ado, Katie or Miryam, go ahead. Go.
Good morning, everybody. As Tony said, my name is Miryam, and we're going to be presenting this presentation for you regarding emergencies. Also, you're going to be getting a iOS 16 update instructions on how to allow captions on your iPhone. So we're going to be doing that towards the end. I'm going to share my screen right now, and hopefully everything will work. Okay, so it's paused. That didn't work out. One more time. Okay, I don't know why it's paused.
It worked a few minutes ago.
It sure did, and I had it in the right place. I haven't touched anything, so now I don't know why I'm not getting that. Let's see, of course. Take this off. Okay, that's that. Nope, we don't want that.
You want the other tab.
Yeah. Okay. So I need a couple minutes to readjust something. So let me see if I can get that on here. Okay, so
Do you want me to do mine?
I think I got it. Let's see if it works now. Get back on the Zoom call. Share screen and okay. Can you guys see it then now?
But go to slideshow, yeah.
Yeah, slideshow from the beginning. And it's not going from the beginning.
It's not cooperating with you.
It's not. Maybe you should put yours.
All right, I can do mine.
Yeah, I'm going to stop share. Sorry about that. This really did work a few minutes ago. We promise. Also, if I can ask everyone to please hold their questions till the very end, so we can get to the presentations. A good chance we will answer your questions anyway.
Okay, Miryam, while you're working on that, I'll just take a couple of minutes to talk about our next program.
Okay.
You continue and you share that screen and I'll stop talking.
Okay.
Okay. So our next meeting is going to be November the 8th. And I am going to talk about the Consumer's Guide to Purchasing Hearing Aids. This is a program that I've done for many chapters over the years. It's been a while. It's been 2 or 3 years since I've done it. There's some new information I'd like to provide. And so this is really going to be literally a checklist and to check off, and I'm going to add some information to it and talk about best practices for audiologists. And here, I think we're ready to go.
I think we are. Okay. Hey. Hello, everybody. We are so pleased to present this information to you. But like Tony said, I'm warning you, there's a lot of information. So we don't want you to try to look at your phone and try to do everything while we're talking about it. With Tony being able to send you the PowerPoint and you being able to look at it on the chapter website, you can go back and do everything that we show you at your leisure and at your pace. So this is going to be an overview of both Android and iPhone emergency procedures. It came about because a member of our Long Beach Lakewood chapter was walking in the park and he was actually attacked and knocked to the ground. He wasn't unconscious, but he was kind of out of it. His cochlear implant popped off and he couldn't hear with his hearing aid. And unfortunately, he didn't have his phone with him, which we have now told him, always have your phone with you. But because of this, people around him that came to help him didn't know he couldn't hear. And emergency personnel that were called didn't know he couldn't hear. So that kind of put into motion our chapter. And then Miryam and I deciding we wanted to do something to help everybody understand that you can use your phone to access emergency services or what to do. As you know, there are different brands of Androids, and I'm assuming that every Android is going to be similar, but you know what they say about the word assume, but we couldn't do Samsung and all of those. So I have a Pixel. So what I'm doing is mine's based on Pixel. It should be the same, or at least similar enough for you to get through it. Fingers crossed. So because I only have a Pixel, and that's really the extent of my Android usage, see, I'm a deep down iPhone user. I'm being very disloyal by using an Android right now. We want you to hold your questions until the end, and then we'll answer them. But remember, it's a lot of information. And Tony, I'm thinking that if they want, you can share my email address. Miryam, probably you too, and we can answer questions if they have questions afterwards. So there we go. The first thing I want to show you is one of our chapter members created a wallet card, a card that you can keep in your wallet that says, I have hearing loss. I need my hearing aids or cochlear implants to hear. I do not use sign language. And then what to show. So let's say you're pulled over by a police officer or you're in an accident and you're trying to communicate with somebody. You pull this out and you show this to them. It could be really valuable for you. In the chat box, I think it's actually in there twice because I didn't know what I was doing. There is a PDF of this card that you can download and print out on cardstock, cut out and put into your wallet. We also, our Ilga, our chapter member, also created a car visor card. Same thing, you can print it out on cardstock and put it up in your car visor or your console or your glove compartment, and you can pull it out and tell the person that's trying to communicate with you that you don't use sign language, you can't hear them, speak slowly and distinctly, I need to see your face and mouth, write directions on paper, and don't blind me with a flashlight. So these, I think, could be very valuable tools for you to use when you're in some kind of a situation like that. Another very common thing that has been around forever and ever and ever, that is a safety thing for you if you are in an emergency, is Medic Alert. I was so amazed when I went to the Medic Alert website. I could not believe you can see this, right? No, you can't see this.
Yes.
You can see this?
Your slide, yes.
You can see my website?
No, just a slide.
This is all of these different things that you can get from Medic Alert. I was just amazed. So I wanted to share that with you. So this could be another source for you. I noticed that Medic Alert has cards that people can scan to get emergency personnel, can get your health information if you share that health information with Medic Alert. I was also pleased to see that there's a seat belt Velcro thing that you can put on your seat belt that tells somebody in emergency personnel that you are aware that you do have Medic Alert information. Now, my cat, I couldn't lock my cat out. Sorry. On your Android, there is a place for you to go in settings, and you go to safety and emergency. You go to safety and emergency, and I don't know what happened. Did that happen to you or just me? You go to medical information. Under medical information, there's a thing called medical notes. I have chosen to put on my Pixel that I am deaf without hearing aids because I want somebody to know if my hearing aids pop out, I will not be able to hear them at all. With my hearing aids, I'm okay. But without my hearing aids, I'm putting in there my medical notes. I am deaf without my hearing aids. Also in the Android, you go to settings, and there's another menu called Emergency SOS. And under Emergency SOS, you toggle this button over. It's either off or on. You toggle it so that it's on. Then you can come down and toggle where it says play an alarm sound if you start your Emergency SOS. Also on that same page, you can set it up so that your phone will automatically call emergency services if you need it. Let's say you fall off a curb or something happens or you fall and you can't get up. You can call the emergency services from your phone. And you can also share your emergency contacts. Your emergency sharing will call your emergency contacts. So in my case, it would be my son or daughter that my phone would call them and tell them, hey, your mom's in trouble, or it would be a text. I actually did this by mistake, and they immediately, my son called, what's the matter? What's the matter? And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I was testing it. I'm okay. It was scary. He was kind of worried for a bit. So we know it works. The other thing you want to do is you want to be sure that location services are turned on. So the way you do this is you go to settings, you go down to location, and you toggle over use location. Also click on personal safety and click on, I chose to have it on allow all the time. You can make any one of these choices. I don't know why you would do don't allow if you're going, I don't know, but you can choose one of these. And then this button down here is use your precise location. So you can toggle that on or off. There is a story, and I believe the man had an Apple Watch at the time, but there is a story about a man who was riding his bicycle up in the hills in San Francisco when he had an accident and he fell off his bike and he was actually knocked unconscious. And I'll get to this later, but because he had an Apple Watch, the Apple Watch contacted emergency services and they were able to find him exactly where he was. So this kind of helps. The precise location is what you want. Not that any of us are going to be riding a bicycle in the hills above San Francisco, but you can never tell. So in emergency location services, down here in emergency location service, when you call or text 911, because we here in California can text 911, if you have this turned on, your location is automatically included. You want to be sure that when you go here to emergency location services, you have this toggled over to on. I bet you didn't know that you could text 911 now in California. I knew that because of I'm the Deaf and Disabled Telecommunications Committee that I'm on. Now, if you have an Android, you can do a demo of this Android of the emergency SOS. Unlike me, who did a real thing and texted my son and daughter, you can do a demo. And it says down here, try a demo. It'll tell you, try starting emergency SOS now. There's a countdown on your phone, and it will count down. It's kind of scary because you think, is it going to call somebody? But it's just the demo. And the way you start it is you press the power button quickly 5 times or more. And that's how you continue with the demo. And then you wait for the countdown. And in a real situation, you wait 5 seconds to cancel. And then there's an emergency sound that happens, that alarm sound. In the demo, it's not going to call anybody. In a real situation, you press that button, you press your power button 5 times or more, and it sets everything in motion. You can also, I just discovered this, you can also put a message on your lock screen. When you go to settings, you can go to display, come down to lock screen, and you can add text on your lock screen. So if you fall and somebody picks up your phone for you, they pick it up and they're going to see the lock screen. At the bottom of the lock screen or somewhere on my Pixel, it was on the bottom, I have added the words deaf without hearing aids. And when you go here, you just type in what you want to type. And then this is what it looks like on my Pixel. I also decided that what I wanted to do was add my daughter's phone number. So I had deaf without hearing aids. And I have also now put in there emergency contact. And then I put my daughter's phone number. I did some research on this, and it doesn't seem to be a way to call for an Android to call 911 automatically. So by swiping your screen, an emergency personnel know how to do this. They can access your emergency information and call 911 for you, but there's no automatic calling. So emergency personnel will swipe your screen. They will get to this. They will view your emergency info and your contacts. They can also access your medical information that you have put in there. So it will show here's my daughter, and I blocked out her name, but it shows that and the address and what my allergies are. And the problem with it is you have to realize that if that's going to happen, it's not going to be private. So you have to decide what you want to put in there. You want to put in there something that emergency personnel are going to want to know about you right away. All right, Miryam, it is now your turn. You're going to talk about the iPhone.
Great, thank you, Katie. So now we're going to direct our attention to the iPhone setup of the emergency SOS. When you do that, you need to go to your settings button. You need to tap on the red emergency SOS, scroll down, and this is what you're going to see. This is where you tap on it. When you do tap on this, you're going to get this screen. Now you can call with a hold, where you just press the right button keep pressing it. Or for the older models, I think it's before the iPhone 7, you're going to have to do the 5 really fast presses, and then you're going to have to slide to emergency SOS. That's for the older models. But the newer models, you don't have to do that. If you continue to scroll down, you're going to see your emergency contacts, which we put up here on top. Now, these emergency contacts have already previously put in to your regular contacts. So whatever emergency contacts you want to put on this page, make sure that it is correctly inputted into your contact app. So then you will see this, and then you will hear the countdown sound similar to the Android. It will do a little demo for you so that you can see if it works. We're not going to do it now because it's not a good idea. Next slide, please. Katie, next slide. There you go. Okay, so in case of emergency, you're going to need to use both the press and hold and the volume buttons. And then it'll give you the SOS like I just showed you. You'll need to keep on holding the buttons until the countdown ends on the screen. Once it ends, it will automatically call 911 for you. And then it will automatically call your emergency contacts that you have in your contact app with your current location. This is very similar to the Android, except that this is on the iPhone specifically. Again, if you have an older phone, iPhone 7 or older, you're going to have to hold the power button 5 times really fast, and then drag your finger across the part that says emergency. And the next slide will show us a picture of that. There you go. So you got the power button to go off, or you need to put on SOS, emergency SOS, slide it to the right. And then on the right, you're going to see here your countdown. And then, of course, if you're doing just a practice, you're going to stop it before it gets to 1, so it doesn't really call 911 for you. Okay, next slide, please. All right. So in order for this information to be in your phone, you need to set this up on the medical ID portion of your phone. So the health app on the iPhone looks like this in the upper left-hand corner here. It's a little white square with a heart on the upper right-hand corner of it. That is the app for health. When you tap on that, it opens up this screen, and it'll usually say summary. On the upper right-hand corner, there is should be a picture of a profile or your picture, if you do put in a picture. I just want to also interject here that putting in your picture is really important, because it's, if somebody finds you that you need help or whatever, it always helps to have your picture there so that people will know it's really you and not maybe somebody else's phone. I know some people that say, well, I don't want to put for privacy reasons. You know, it's really, in my opinion, it's really worth it to put in your picture so that there is no doubt that the phone belongs to you and that this health information applies to you. Then when you press the upper right-hand corner that says edit, you will go to, you get this screen where it has your profile picture or whatever you have there. And on this one that it says medical ID, you tap on that, and then this page will open. Again, you will need to go to the upper right-hand corner and click on edit. And then it will open to this screen. This is the screen where you get to put in all of your information. It asks for your date of birth. It asks for your medications. If you have, for example, heart problems, this would be a good place to put it. If you're allergic to penicillin, this would be a good place to put it. My hearing loss is not as profound as Katie's is, so I would not put deaf without hearing aids, but I would definitely have something that says hard of hearing. So that all that information is where you put it in there. The next slide after that will give you two options for a button. And this will let you know that both of these need to be toggled on in green so that I can make the emergency call to your contact and to the emergency services as well. Next slide, please. Next slide.
I lost my mouse. Hang on.
Okay. Now Katie's going to talk about the Apple Watch.
Let me get rid of this pointer. Let me go back to my regular. That didn't work. Okay. Apple Watch. I love my Apple Watch. It goes on first thing in the morning, and it's the last thing to come off my body at night. Well, no, my hearing aids are the last thing to come out, but I love my Apple Watch, and I love it. And I wear it for safety reasons. I don't wear it because I need a watch. I wear it for safety reasons. I need to fix my pointer. How do I do that? I want to get away from this. Oh, I got to get rid of laser pointer. There we go. So if you have an iPhone and you have an Apple Watch, or you get an Apple Watch, this is what the icon looks like on your Apple phone. On your phone, there's an Apple Watch app. Now, you don't do all this on the actual watch, you do it on your phone. And you'll see there's an icon that says My Watch. You come down to Emergency SOS. And on the watch, you hold the side button to dial for an emergency call. There's a side button right here, and you hold that side button to call emergency services. What's really cool about the iPhone and the Apple Watch is when you set up your medical ID on the iPhone, like Miryam showed you, it automatically syncs to your watch. So you don't have to enter it into the watch app. It is automatically there. So you come to settings on the Apple Watch app. You come to health, you go to health, you go to medical ID, and you can see that everything I put in there is on that screen on the Apple Watch app, and everything that I want to have happen is right there on my phone, on my watch. This is what it looks like when you press and hold that side button. You get your power off button. Somebody can just press for your medical ID, or you or somebody else can just press emergency SOS. So it's that easy on your phone. One of the main reasons that I wear my watch all the time is I have fallen a couple of times. And my kids were not happy with me because my balance isn't great. And yes, now I use a cane when I walk out, a walking stick when I walk outside. But the Apple Watch has a thing called fall detection, and it detects when you have fallen. I actually had it happen to me once when I stumbled. I was outside. I stumbled and I caught myself, but my hand went down hard on what I caught myself, and my watch vibrated really, really hard. And I went, oh no, it's going to call the emergency services. But I clicked. Let me show you what happens. It actually said to me, it looks like you've taken a hard fall. So you can either call the emergency SOS or you can click, I'm okay. Now, the last time I fell was a couple of weeks ago, and my family was with me, thank goodness. I fell, and they immediately, my 6-foot grandson and my 6-foot son-in-law and my daughter just picked me up and put me back on my feet. And a few days later, I thought, wait a minute, my watch didn't show that I fell. I didn't have to do anything. So I did some research. And what I found is if your Apple Watch detects that you're moving, it's going to wait to respond for you alerts. So if you fall, but you're moving, your watch will wait. If you have been immobile for a minute, then it makes the call automatically. So the fact that my family lifted me up right away means I didn't go into fall detection mode. Thank goodness. I had this vision of emergency personnel. We were at back to school night for my grandson. I could just see fire trucks and paramedics coming to the school. I would have been so embarrassed. I was already embarrassed enough that I fell. But because I wear my watch all the time, if I'm in my backyard, I'm no longer afraid that if I fall, I'm going to sit there for hours and not be able to move if something happens. I've got to admit that I even wear my watch in the shower so that if something happens to me, you know, that help I've fallen and I can't get up commercial really got to me. So I wear my watch in the shower. I put this page in there because if you want Tony to send you a copy of it, of the PowerPoint, this is some of the information that I've already said. I'm not going to read it to you right now. Okay, Miryam, I believe this is you.
Yes, so now we're going to talk about whenever you need to access somebody else's medical ID. So for example, let's say you're taking a walk down the street and you see someone in front of you that is on the ground, unconscious, and you see their phone. So you are acting as a good Samaritan. You will need to access their information. Hopefully they have it updated like I'm showing you now. And when you do, you will have a screen that shows you how to do that. Next slide, please. So this is what their screen would look like in the lock mode. On the bottom left-hand corner, there's a little thing that says emergency. You need to tap on that on their phone. You will get this middle screen now, and you'll get emergency call. And you can also access their information by tapping on medical ID on the bottom left-hand corner as well. And when you do that, you can get this example of this third slide right here. And in this particular case, this person that you found that you don't know says that they have an advanced directive in their wallet. So emergency personnel, if it comes to that, they will look for that. It says that their spouse's name is this, their brother's name is this, and their phone number, their weight, and their height is this. That is all the information you get on this person that you don't know. The rest of it will be accessed by emergency personnel. So again, this is what you will see when you find somebody else's phone that you do not know, assuming like their information is set up correctly. This is the information that you will find. This touchdown where it says emergency call, you can also use it to call 911. And remember that if it's set up correctly, that as soon as that gets done, they will also contact your emergency contacts that you have set up. And evidently this person does have that set up. Next screen, please. Okay, now this is a very, very exciting part for me because those of us that have hearing loss, we're not deaf, so we don't use the sign language. What we do is we do different things. And finally, the Apple has done us the great favor of putting in captions for us on the phone, live captions. Now, this is something that's new that just happened with the installation of iOS 16 on your phone last month. This is not an automatic update. This is something you have to do. Let me tell you that I heard that there's over 400 changes in this update. However, we don't need to know all the 400 changes. We only need to know some of them, maybe 10, 20 of them. So I have focused just on the live captions. Now, again, you must have your iOS 16 update installed in your phone in order for this to work. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to go open to settings, and this is the page that it will look like. And then when you get to, you have to scroll down to accessibility, tap on accessibility. This screen will open in the middle and it says live captions beta. Beta means it's on a trial basis, they're testing it, but so far it has been working pretty well. So once you tap on that, you will see this third screen, and you will need to toggle your button to for the green part to show that says live captions. Also, I have mine toggled on that says live captions in FaceTime. So if I'm doing a FaceTime call with someone and something happens and I need to hear what they're saying, let's say there's background noise or whatever, then the captions will automatically turn on. And this, I have it on as well. This is live captions in real time. Like I said, that's not accessible yet, but it will be probably in the next update or so. Remember, this is a beta version, and although it works pretty well, I think there's still some things that they're gonna put better. I'm gonna talk about appearance in just a moment. So let's go on to the next slide, please. Okay, so when you do all those things, you're going to see a black box. Now, my intention was to show you my phone and to show you this black box and actually do it in real time. However, when we were practicing this black box doesn't show on my phone for some reason. I don't know if it's something I'm doing or whatever, but I will give you other resources as well. So just for now, this is the black box that will appear. On the bottom here, you're going to see that they are watching a YouTube video and that these are the captions that are going on your phone. This little button to the left arrow will close this black box and turn it into a small little icon, which I'll show you in the next slide. This button to the right, which is the diagonal double-sided arrow, will completely open your captions so that it's on your whole screen of your phone. So if you want to see your captions on your whole screen, you don't want to see the video, you just want to read what the captions say, that's what you will put on. If you want to close it back down to this size, you touch that double arrow, that diagonal arrow again, and then it'll get smaller. If you touch this microphone that's right here, that we're showing you right here, it means it will pick up your voice live from when you're talking. For the other day, Katie and I were having lunch, and we wanted to test this feature, so we put it on, and sure enough, when we put that button on, it got highlighted, and then it was recording our conversation, and it was giving us the captions, and it was saying what we were saying. When we were done, we just pressed the microphone again, and it stopped doing that. Next slide, please. Now, this little, in this little purple box, for some reason, when we tried and could not get it on the phone real time. So I took a picture of it and then I cropped it so you can see it. This is the button that will show you, that will stay on your phone all the time. and you can move it where you can move to the top, the bottom, the side, wherever, get it out of the way. This is the icon that will show you that you have live captions turned on. Now, when you click on this, that's when you get that black screen that I just showed you in the previous slide. And this is all in the PowerPoint, and I'll give you another resource as well. So I want you to know that when you go onto Appearance, you can make your captions bigger, smaller, you can make them bold, you can change colors, you can do different things. And that's what you can do in this middle slide here. However, this little icon can get, it will stay the same size, but it will get more transparent or it'll get darker. So by turning on this slider right here, there's a slider. And if you move it back and forth to the left, it gets lighter, to the right, it gets darker. You can adjust the icon as dark or as light as you want it. Again, remember that you can move the icon with your finger. You can slide it up and down and away from something that is blocking your view, but you can make it more transparent or more, a little bit darker. This one that I took the picture of is in the darkest form. It's way to the right because I wanted to make sure that I caught the picture of it. Then on the next slide down here on Appearance, you can change the color and you can make it bold or whatever. Okay, next slide, please.
Oh,
okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to share with you also that another feature of the iPhone, I don't know if you use it, is called Find My. And you can find somebody that you have connected with. I use this all the time with my grandsons. I pick them up after school, and if I'm sitting at the pickup place and they're not there, I can see where they are and I can say, why haven't you left school yet? I'm waiting for you. So you can share your location with someone. Here's Connor, and this shows me exactly where he is with the picture. When you go here to this page, you click on the little plus sign, and you can share your location. You send them a message by clicking Share My Location. They get the message, and then they give you permission to share their location with you. I also use it with my daughter to know how far away is she from home. When is she coming home to pick up her 9-year-old grandson that I'm babysitting? Not that I don't love my 9-year-old grandson, but I'm glad for him to go home. Miryam?
Okay, so we've compiled this list of resources for you. First of all, we went to Apple support to get the information on how to set up your medical ID. There's the link on YouTube. This one will give you the in case of emergency shortcut on the phone. And this will give you the health app, getting to know the health app on your phone. This is where I got my information from, but you can go on the actual link and look at it yourself. Also, the emergency SOS demonstration is on this link. And back during the pandemic in February of 2021, I was doing weekly Zoom meetings on different technology issues. And I happened to do one on the iPhone at that time. And this is the link to that. It's about a 40-minute longer, maybe it's almost an hour long because we do some socializing there during the pandemic. So I gave you this timestamp. If you go to the video and you move your cursor to the right, all the way to the timestamp 38, that's when I start talking about this particular topic about the emergency SOS and the medical ID. Also, when I was researching this, I went to different YouTube videos that explained how to set up captions on your phone. However, I found that they were not very understandable. And if they're not understandable to me, which is not, I don't have a profound hearing loss, it's not going to be understandable to those of you these people that can have a profound hearing loss. So what I did is I took this video from Brandon Butch, he's a blogger, and he did 22 settings you need to change immediately. And he just did this on the 15th of September of this year. And this is the link to his video. His video is about 18 minutes long. However, he talks about the captions specifically on the timestamp of 11:15. I recommend that you go see this video because it kind of narrows down all the different new things that are on there. However, if you want to specifically hone in on the live captions, you go to the timestamp for 11:15. And this last link is where Katie went to get her information on setting that up on the Android. So my idea was to show you real time the video, but there's no time for that right now, and I'm afraid something's going to go wrong. So if you click on this link, you will go to that video, and you can either watch it or you can just go to the part that talks about live transcripts. And so you have 3 different ways to access this information. I know this is a lot. This is, I'm sorry if I'm talking too fast, but you could get you could get a recording of this particular presentation. You can get the PowerPoint presentation PDF that Tony will send you. And then you can also go to this YouTube video where actually I think that's the best thing, that you can see the black box that appears and how he opens it and closes it. I think it's very helpful. Okay, and that's it.
I am going to stop sharing my screen. I know, Tony, you want to not spotlight Miryam anymore? I know that this was a lot of information. So you're definitely going to want to ask for a PDF of it or watch the recording. Does anybody have any questions right now that they want to ask? Or are you just so overwhelmed you forget it? Gail, go ahead.
Unmute.
Okay, I didn't get where to get the iOS 16.2.
Oh, we didn't show how to do the install.
Oh.
Oh, if let me walk you through this. If you go to settings and you click on your name, somewhere there it will tell you there's a software update available.
Actually, you go to general.
Is it down in general?
Yeah, general and then software update. And
oh, you're right. So
yeah.
Settings, general, software update, and it will tell you if there's an update available to you.
Well, you kind of have to ask it to check updates.
You can also, I don't know if you can do this with Android or not, but you can also do automatic updates. You can do an on-off thing and it will automatically, whenever there's an iOS update, it will automatically update. There was a problem with the iOS 16 and Oticon hearing aids in that Oticon told us to hold off until they had worked out some kinks with iOS 16. And then they finally said it was okay to install.
And there was just an update to 16.0.3 last night.
Yes,
I updated. So
I have
yeah, they're trying to fix, whenever there's a new update, a big one like this, there's always kinks. So they usually come on right away and try to fix them. So make sure that you continually monitor your updates and that you actually put them in so that you will get the best information.
Yeah, I have done this, and it says I'm up to date.
Good.
Then you're good.
So this is not 16.0.3.
If it says you're up to date, you must have it, Gail.
You've got it. You're up to date. You should be able to access live captions with our directions. So you should be able to do it.
All right. I'll give it a try. Thank you.
Do you happen to know what version? Like, I know somebody that has iPhone 6. They would not be able to upgrade.
No.
So what is the minimum you have to get to 16?
7. iPhone 7. The update in iPhone 7. Previous versions will not update. Was not compatible with the new update.
Okay. Excellent.
I have the 7.
All right. Okay, and
Yes.
we have Ann Mundell Noel is in the house. This is our chapter's audiology advisor, and she has a question or a comment.
Well, Katie, I was just going to comment on that as far as she may be up to date for what she can get on her phone, but she may not have enough memory in her phone for the newest technology. So we run into that a lot with hearing aids as far as that's why she's up to date. But if she doesn't have the 16, she would have to get a new phone.
Yeah, apparently that's the reason.
That's a really good point. And Gail is in our Long Beach Lakewood chapter, and we're meeting on Thursday. So Gail, I'll look at your phone on Thursday and see if I can do the live caption for you.
Okay, great. I'll check it out too.
Dolores, you have a question? You're muted.
Still muted.
Dolores, you're muted. We can't hear you.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to say you ladies did a wonderful job. I learned so much, but whether I'll be able to put it into practice is another thing. So, but anyway, thank you so much. And Gail, thank you for inviting me. Hopefully I can join you folks again sometime because you've got a
yeah, she
ton
just
of
got
information.
the invite about 5 minutes before we started.
I know.
So, thank you,
And I've got to
Dolores.
run. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye, Dolores.
We're coming.
Anybody have any other questions or comments? You're okay with being able to access from whatever you need from Tony?
I'm in the, I wear a Fitbit, and I have for a long time, and it's really acting up. It's really not performing. So I am definitely going to look into an Apple phone. And I also want to say, I have a neighbor that I met earlier in the week, who was telling me about her Apple phone, different topics. And she said, you don't have to have an Apple phone or an Apple computer to use the Apple phone. I mean, the watch, the Apple Watch. You don't need to be connected to those things. I think if you're going to program it, I think it's really helpful. But in any case, I love the fall, detecting a fall. I think that's important. So there's a lot of reasons to have that. And since I need to replace this anyway soon, I'm definitely going to look into that.
I do think, though, that if you're not going to have an Apple Watch, an Apple phone, you're just going to have the watch. If you want to be able to access 911 or emergency contacts, you're going to have to get an Apple Watch that has cellular in it. So, because if you don't have cellular on your watch, as soon as you're like 50 feet away from your phone, they don't communicate with each other. When I bought a new watch, I got cellular, and AT&T is only charging me $10 more a month for that extra phone number. And it works whenever my phone is turned off, the cellular on my watch takes over. So I feel safe all the time.
Wonderful.
Judy, you have a question?
Yes, well, I just want to say I learned so much. And fortunately, I can hear everything. Some of my family members, not so much. But this was good for anybody, but it's just wonderful. Thank you so much. And Miryam, thank you for inviting me. I did, Katie, want to ask you which watch you personally had, because I love the idea that yours is waterproof.
All the new ones from the newest one is waterproof. I don't know how far back it goes.
Okay.
Before the pandemic, I was going to my local Y and doing water aerobics. And I wore it in the pool. It was fantastic. So I wanted to do it because I wanted my workout to count.
Oh, that's great.
So it will. I love it. I absolutely love it. It does not leave my wrist during my waking hours.
Katie, what model watch do you have?
Me?
Yes,
I have an Apple. I don't know what version it is.
because there's a Series 8, I think, and then there's a new one called.
I have the newest one, yeah.
Okay.
So with cellular, because I want to be able to, if I leave my phone somewhere or somebody steals my phone, I want to be able to have that.
Okay.
Well,
Got it.
thank you. Everything's been wonderful. Can you repeat then how to get the PDF handouts?
Yes. You know what? It's in the chat. If you go up to the top of the chat,
Okay.
you'll see that there's some PDFs there, and it says hearing loss wallet card, and then driver HOH placard. But Judy, you know Miryam?
Yes.
We'll send it to you. She's got your
Okay.
email. We'll send it to you.
Okay. Thank you very
Tony
much.
send it too.
For everybody that is registered for this session, I have your email address. So I will be sending,
Oh,
I will send it as an attachment to
okay.
everybody.
Okay. Thank you.
I may get a little interruption when the Dell Tech guy arrives here in about 15, 20 minutes. And but before the day is out, I will definitely have it sent out to everybody who attended this meeting.
Thank you so much, Tony.
And so basically, what I recommend is you'll have a link for the video. You can pause it. You can look at the pages on your computer. You can turn the pages on the slideshow presentation and just follow it. Just follow it along. And by the way, the video that you can see will have the exact same captions that you're seeing here, because you'll be seeing the Zoom captions. Yeah. So the captions you see on YouTube, unfortunately, the process to upload the original captions is so time consuming and difficult for me. I just allow YouTube to do automatic captions. So sometimes there's a little delay, or it's not exactly perfect. So anyway, it will be perfect in the temporary link that I send you. You'll have a copy of the PDF. You can just follow it and just pause everything, change the page when you're ready to. So it'll just be easy peasy.
This is really great. And I would like to really express a lot of thanks to you for having Dolores Nathan. Dolores has always had excellent hearing, but during the pandemic, she came down with COVID and she has lost considerable hearing. So this information, only HLAA, right, has this great news. So thank you, ladies, Miryam, Katie, and Tony. You're wonderful. Thank you.
I want
You're
to
welcome.
say, I really want to say that when programs like this, or any program that supports people with hearing loss, if you know somebody with a hearing loss, please invite them to come. This is not a private club. This is for everybody. And family members benefit from, because they understand more what you are going through. And they learn how they can respond, what works and what doesn't. And so that's the value of hearing loss support programs, whether they be in person, on Zoom, wherever you go. So family, friends, acquaintances, I stop people in the grocery store line when I see they have hearing aids on. I go, hi, I want to tell you about our hearing loss support group. I try to have cards handy and with our website and my email address, and some people actually follow up. So, and people are surprised that they could actually learn something outside of their hearing healthcare provider's office. They're surprised at the small things that they can learn to make life easier. So that's why we're here. And I really appreciate everybody sharing. Okay. So any other questions? We've got Tracy, James, Lou. I haven't seen you for a long time. Waylon, all these names that are very familiar to me. Roger Conley, hello. I just want to say hello, hello, hello. Kathy Fairbanks, thank you for joining. And Linda Beard, haven't seen you for a little while. And Marilyn Burrows, hello. Are you in Puerto Rico right now? Oh my goodness, all the way from Puerto Rico. She was my neighbor and she was my friend and she still is my friend, but she's in the process of moving back to Oklahoma and she decided to take a little trip to Puerto Rico. That's where her son lives. So I hope everything's good there and hope to talk to you soon. So, okay. If there's no more questions, then I think we could say goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Helpful.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.